In this video, I'll be doing Khan Academy's SAT Math Practice, Unit 8 of Medium Advanced Math. So this is the unit practice test and it has 13 questions, so let's get started. So which expression is equivalent to the difference? So you have to subtract these two, so let's go ahead and do that. So when we subtract or add fractions, we want the denominator to be the same. So we can see this right here. We can factor this out into this number. So we can rewrite the whole equation and factor this one out. 28 and 21 divisible by 7, so 7. That'd be 4w plus 3. And we see this inside right here is the same as this one. So that's good. And so let's rewrite this. 8v Okay, so I just rewrote the equation. We have this one right here factored out, but still the denominator is not the same. The only difference is that this one has a 7 right here, so we just have to multiply this by 7, which also means that we have to multiply the top by 7. And so we want to do that, so that gives us 21v plus 70. And so we can rewrite that. And now we can finally subtract. So 8v minus 21v will give us negative 13v, negative 13v. And then because it's a subtraction sign, it's going to be negative 70 over this denominator. But we can put that back to 28w plus 21. Also, if we go back to the beginning step, we could have just multiplied this by 7. We didn't need to factor this out. So our answer should be D. You can read these answers, explanations if you need to. The function right here is graphed in the xy plane. Which of the following are the coordinates of the x-intercept of the graph? Okay, so all we have to do is plug in or just write the equation. It wants us to know the coordinates of the x-intercept. So you see here there's 2 x-intercepts. We probably just need one. One of them are going to be the answer choice. So negative 2.333 is going to equal us negative 7 over 3. I just put that into the calculator and checked. But none of them have negative 7 over 3. This is negative 3 over 7, but that's obviously wrong because that's going to be under 1 or under negative or over negative 1. And we have 0.5 here, which is 1/2, 0, and that's B. So B is going to be our answer. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression? So all we have to do is factor this quadratic here. So we can do the x method, where you have to multiply to negative 10 and add to 3. That's going to be 5 and negative 2. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. Or 5 plus negative 2 is 3. And so when we rewrite this, it's just x plus 5 and x minus 2. But it doesn't matter the order. X minus 2 could be first, which is what shows here. So it's going to be B. Okay, so we have an equation here. In the given equation, A is a constant. If n equal 1 is a solution to the equation, what is the value of A? So all we have to do is plug in n for 1 and then solve for A. So here we have 1, that's n plus 2. So 1 plus 2 is equal to square root of A minus 1. So do that right here. We can see 1 plus 2 is 3 is equal to the square root of A minus 1. Then we can square each side. That's going to give us 9 is equal to A minus 1 plus 1. So A is equal to 10. If we do that right here, 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. 1 plus 3 is equal to 3. Square root of 9 is equal to 3, yeah, both sides is going to equal to 3. So the answer is 9. Oh, sorry, 10. So the answer is 10.
Bruh.
What is the value of f of g of 2 based on this table right here? So instead of looking at like an equation or graph, we're going to look at this table. So if the x of g is 2, so we can look at x right here, 2, g is going to equal to 2. So now we're trying to find f of 2. X is 2 right here, so that's going to be 3. Which of the following correctly gives A in terms of V, M, and C? So here's the equation here. I don't think it's probably, you don't really need to read that if you're just trying to solve for a variable. I think that's to save time during the SAT. But like, maybe it could be important to you. All we're trying to do is solve for A. So we want to multiply both sides by C. That's going to give us BC is equal to AM, and then divide each side by M. And so A is going to equal VC divided by M. That's going to be A. Two equations here. If parentheses x1 comma y1 and parentheses x2 comma y2 are distinct solutions to the systems of equations shown, what is the product of y1 and y2? So just plug this into the calculator, find the solution, the two solutions. There must be two solutions to this, and then the y coordinates of each solution should be multiplied to get the answer to this problem. Just put it into the calculator. And then find it on the graph. You can zoom out. So we can see the two solutions are 4, 15 and 9, 30. Since we're trying to find a product, it doesn't matter what's y1 or y2. Just multiply each y. 15 can be our y1 and 30 can be our y2. So 15 times 30 is equal to 450. So our answer should be 450. If y equal to 128 times 0.92 to the power of x is graphed in the xy plane, which of the following characteristics of the graph is displayed as a constant or coefficient in the equation? So first of all, let's just label the constant and coefficient. So a constant is the numbers all by itself, so 128 would be a constant, and a coefficient would be the number with a variable. So since this is the power to x, this is probably going to be the coefficient. So we want to plug this graph into the calculator and just find a number that is displayed as a constant or coefficient. So let's plug that into the calculator. Okay, so if we zoom out here, we can see that the y-intercept is 128 as the equation, and this is just 0. Okay, so it's going to be the y-intercept. The slope is not constant, and so yeah, the y-intercept. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? So we have this expression here. So honestly, I don't think we need to do the work here. But we know that when you have an exponent to the exponent, it's just multiplying the number. So if we do the math for this one, multiply each exponent, all of these exponents are going to give us 10. So if we just rewrite this, and then the bottom is just 3 times 20, or 3 times 7, so that's 21. And so when we simplify this equation right here, we're just doing 10 minus 21, and so like all of them are going to be negative 11. And so because we had all negative 11, trying to find one that would also make it negative 11. So we see here is negative 10 minus 21. That's not negative 11. That's going to be less than negative 11. we got 10 minus negative 21. That is what we did too. So we can say it's B for now. This is going to be 40 minus this big number. So it's obviously not C. And we got 30 minus 63, which is going to give us negative 33. So our answer should be B. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? So let's just do that. It's to the power of 2. So write that out twice. And then we want to do x squared. It's going to be negative 5x twice. So we can simplify that into negative 10x. And the last one is negative 5 times negative 5, which is plus 25. And so that would be D. How many distinct zeros does this graph have? So we can see we can label the zeros. We see we have a 0 here. Oh, I don't think that's a good color. So this right here is a 0. Negative 2, 0. Then we got a 0 at negative 1, 0. We have a 0 at 0, 0. We also have a 0 at 2, 0. And we have a 0 at 4, 0. So there are 4 distinct zeros. The zeros also mean the x-intercept or the solutions. That is a mistake on my end. I accidentally said, did I say 4? I think I said 4, and I chose 4. Bruh. Whoops, there's 5. Yeah, because, we see it intersects 5 times, has 5 solutions. That's what distinct zeros are. The number of yeast cells, P, parentheses T, P of T, in a culture after T days is modeled by the equation shown. After how many days will the population double in size? Okay, let's plug that into the calculator. But instead of putting T, we'll put X so the calculator will understand. See, it has 0.25. That's the x-intercept. So, based on the graph here, we have the y-intercept of 0.25. And the equation, we see that the initial number of yeast is going to be 25 yeast. But we want to see how many days the population would double. The double is going to be 50. So, number of yeast population, we can equal that to 50. Because that's what we want to determine. We want to determine T for number of days. Or, yeah, the number of days after the culture. And that's going to equal 25 to power of T over 1.06. So you can just multiply this right here. That's going to give us 50 both. So that's going to 50. And so divide each side by 50. That's going to give us 1 is equal to T over 1.06. And then we just multiply each side by 1.06. Multiply times 1.06. And that's going to give us T is equal to 1.06 days. 1.06 round to the nearest 100th. That's the 100th. We have an equation, a quadratic equation here. That's equal to 0. Let x equal to h and x equal to m be solutions to the given equation. With h greater than m, what is the value of h minus m? So here there's going to be 2 solutions, and we know what h will be since h is going to be greater than m, because there's always going to be a solution greater. So put that into the calculator. So we have this, solutions are 3 and 7, but yeah, 3070. And so we know that h is greater than m, so h has to be 7 because 7 is greater than 3. So 7 minus 3, that's going to give us 4. Nice. We did get 1 wrong, but that was my mistake. I miscounted.
I was showing you guys what not to do.
And so yeah, hopefully this helped. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on the test.